Okay, so Louisa, when we all start a brand new task, we all sometimes need a bit of support. Not everybody, but often we need some support, and the RO exams are no exception. So today I want to talk about the 5 key considerations before selecting your RO training provider. So question 1 I've got for you today is, will the relevant examining body provide the best learning material for the RO exam?
Generally, yeah, not necessarily. Now, isn't that a very specific answer? If you put yourselves into the shoes of an examining body, Sam, where's the incentive for them to actually year in, year out develop their materials? There isn't one, really, because so many people assume because it's material that comes from the examining body, it's got to be good. Yeah, and they'll automatically buy it without thinking about it, doing any investigation. So there really is no incentive for them. So that's the reason why, sort of like, not really, it is my answer. They've just got no incentive to actually make those materials any better. And a third-party provider does have.
Okay, so does a candidate have to buy material from the examining body?
Well, it depends who the examining body are, because there's definitely quite a few out there where the answer is yes, they do. But the CII, in relation to the RO exams, you have a choice. And that's got to be something that we hang on to and we absolutely nurture, as long as possible. Great believer in market choice. So CII, you can absolutely pick their materials if they suit your learning style, but you don't have to. You have a choice with RO1 to RO5 to sit the exam standalone. So you absolutely don't have to go the examining body route if you don't want to. And if you do want to, and it suits your style, great, but it doesn't suit everybody.
Okay, so lots of training providers out there. So what should a candidate really look out for in an RO training support provider, sort of separate the wheat from the chaff?
Again, great question. Anybody in this day and age, Sam, can set themselves up as an expert. You can merge, you can buy RO materials, you can see somebody else doing it well, and you can think, well, I want a bit of that market. It's incredibly easy to put yourself out on social media as an RO expert. I would say to every candidate, look at the experience that the provider has. You take the RO exams, they've probably been around, Sam, about 12, 13 years. And we've trained them at BTS for 12, 13 years. I was having a conversation with my husband about this the other day because, we were just nattering about business. And he said, have you got any idea of how many candidates BTS have actually trained? And I thought, that's a really, really good question. And the answer is no. But if I think about that in a bit more depth, we've probably trained over 10,000 candidates since the RO exams came out. And you can't buy that experience. You can't make up that experience. That has been got from the coalface of supporting, it's probably 11, 12,000 candidates since the ROs came out. So look for the experience, look for a company that's been doing it, for a decent time. You're unlikely to go wrong with that sort of provider.
Okay, great. So what about a provider's technical expertise? What should a candidate look out for to ascertain what the provider's technical expertise is like?
Look at what qualifications, individuals within that company have. We're a great believer at BTS. You only support an exam that you have sat and passed yourself. We don't subscribe to the theory that if you've got a similar exam, Sam, that's okay. You can train the candidates on, for example, AF7, which is a specialist pensions exam, if you've got the old G60. They've got to have the exam as a minimum that you are thinking about sitting. They have to have walked in your shoes as a student. But we're also a great believer that it's not enough to have sat the exam once. Yeah, me, for example, I sit the RO exams every year. Yeah, and I do it to, one, make sure I've still got it, and just to reassure everybody I still have. Yeah, but also to give myself the student experience every year. So it's not just about the technical qualifications. It's also about how up to date are they? Do they sit them every year? Do they keep up with what is exam style? Because the materials, they can't just be technical. They've got to be aligned to the exam that you are sitting. So in terms of technical expertise, I think that's a two-pronged thing that you need to watch out for as a candidate.
What about social media presence from these training providers? Do you think it's important?
I think it's massively important, because social media, what your candidates say about you, it's out there, isn't it, Sam? Yeah, and unless you want to pay people to say nice things about you, which obviously as an ethical firm we never do, social media sorts the wheat from the chaff. And you mentioned that phrase earlier. If you're good at what you're doing, you will get regular shout outs on social media. People will ask for help from other people. They'll say, well, I'm about to start the ROs. Does anybody out there know who's a good provider to go through that journey with? So you should see, regular shout outs on social media if a provider is worth their salt. Regular postings, because you can't control that. Anybody, can put on their own website, we're fabulous, and lots of client testimonials. You can't control social media. It's a real acid test. Is that provider going to be good? Are they going to help you? Or are they making up their own PR effectively? So I think it's massively, important, and a real honest appraisal of how a company are doing.
Great stuff, Luiza. Thanks for answering those questions. And I think if anybody's listening to us at the moment and they're interested in finding out a little bit more about you, then they can get you on social media, can't they? Where can they find you?
They can find us on LinkedIn. Absolutely follow Bespoke Training Solutions on LinkedIn. I'm really sad. We do lots of posting on a regular basis, but really interesting stuff about exam experiences, about what we're doing. So it's a whole variety of stuff. We're on Twitter. Even though I'm just getting to grips with Twitter. So bear with us on that. And of course, via our website, bespoketrainingsolutions.com. But pick up the phone. We love talking, to our candidates. We love, actually engaging voice to voice. But again, that's probably because I'm not in the first flush of youth, Sam. So pick up the phone to us as well.
Great stuff. Nice one. Thanks.